The first step to successfully floor loading a trailer using the brick method is coming out onto the floor and assessing how much product there is for each store that needs to be loaded. You could potentially be loading only one store, possibly two, maybe even three stores on a trailer. It's important for you to understand how much conveyable product you have and how much non-con product you have in making your load plan.
So this carton here is less than 1.5 to 2 feet wide, so I'm going to actually pull it away from the previous carton to give you that 1.5 to 2 feet distance. So then when I get a box that has that dimension, it still matches up and is flush across the front. So from this angle, you can then see there's the distance between the boxes. I will then utilize this space throughout the loading process for small boxes to fill that in that I wouldn't have anywhere else to go with. So when we're doing this process, we always want to go left to right so that the gap we're trying to fill is always from here to there, and it's only one spot. So when I place the last carton down, I realize how much space I have left. That helps me indicate the carton that then I'm reaching for. So as you see, we're flush to the front. We've created the T's here by staying one level at a time, one row at a time. As you see, we're flush. We did not push back. Most folks, when they do this, the first thing they want to do is push these cartons back to meet the wall before. When we do that, what it creates is an opportunity for a larger box to then want to rotate forward, potentially falling on the loader or the unloader at the store. Now in the same scenario, when we have a box, if it was to rotate back, worst case scenario is it rotates back against the wall behind it, keeping the loader safe. When we're doing this, we also want to utilize the space in the back for smaller cartons that otherwise just wouldn't have a good home. And as we load, we fill that space in. So now what we're presenting is loading next to a non-con pallet. When we have non-con pallets in a trailer, we're still going to build our wall exactly the same. The wall's still going to be 1.5 to 2 feet wide. I have some boxes here demonstrating how I would do 2 walls with the non-con pallet. So here would be the first wall represented by these groups of boxes. Here would be my second, and now I'm even with the front of my pallet by the time I'm done building each of these walls. Once again, the first 1.5 feet, and I'll build all the way across, all the way up till I meet the level of the pallet. Then I engulf the pallet all the way to the ceiling. Start over, build up till I meet the pallet, engulf the pallet on top all the way till I meet the ceiling, and then I start my next wall again. So the pallet was completely exposed. Now we've built the first 2-foot wall, covering the pallet, engulfing the pallet with no loss of space. We'll continue on to the next step to build the next 2-foot wall that will completely cover the pallet into the wall once again with no loss of space. It'll completely cube out and utilize all the space within the trailer. Once again, the boxes have different sizes, widths, right? I can go that way. Or then I do it like this, and now it kind of firms up my wall. So as you see, as we stack across, we go the left to right method, it creates the T's within the load, right? So here's a T, here's a T, right? Here's a T, 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 T here. And the reason this is so important is it distributes the weight amongst the load. So even though here we don't have a lot of support, because of the T's that are built in, it spreads the load out across the wall. It saves our cartons from getting crushed. That's really what creates the integrity of the wall. Right? So when this truck pulls out, this wall will not go anywhere. So once we've reached overhead height, now we want to utilize the step stool. The easy way is for someone to just toss cartons up. We want to avoid tossing the cartons for safety reasons. Once again, if I toss and miss, the box comes down and potentially hits me in the face. So we want to utilize the step stool and ensure we get a nice tight fit across the top. Once again, when we're doing this, we want to continue locking the load so that when this trailer pulls out, the wall doesn't fall, gets to the store. It's a nice, safe scenario for the store associate. I'm going to grab these punching bags, but I also want to grab these punching bags back here to put on that same pallet. I don't want to have these pallets. This is going to get broke down. This you can't break down, right? You don't break down weight.
Watch how this associate uses the last carton to lock in the row against the trailer wall.
Right.
Using a step stool allows the associate to safely load all the way to the ceiling, maximizing the cube of the trailer. Floor loading a trailer using the brick method really simplifies the process. The loader does not have to decide where to put the carton. The next carton always goes to the right of the last one you placed, repeating this process over and over, loading left to right, one row at a time, one level at a time, creating a very stable, efficiently loaded trailer.
So we've come across a carton that is about 50 pounds. At this stage in the wall, we don't want to stick it up over head height because it creates an unsafe scenario. So now this will be the cornerstone of my next wall. As you can see, I've pulled it away that 1.5 to 2 foot distance from the wall so that when I get a bigger box, it still can be built into my wall. We're still flush to the front. We have multiple boxes of ammo, so we just continue to stack them up.